From the beautiful Kellogg's Air Sports Complex, we have a girls under 14 match between the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier and the Heat FC out of Henderson, Nevada. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg G.K. Porter for Langevin Productions. Let's get the lineups for both teams. First, for the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier, they have their defender as number 2, Devin Nall. Let's get the keeper. That's number 10, Brandy Alderson. Number 7 at forward will be Cambry Meskill. Number 9 will be Tatum Harris. Number 12 at center mid will be Ashley Lovell. Number 13 at defender is McKenna Soha. Number 14 at defender is Kendall Trabi. Number 16 at defender is Peyton Mutseres. Number 17 at defender is Aaron Lum. Number 18 at forward is Lauren Hawley. Number 19 at midfield is L.J. Jones. Number 20 at outside mid is Amanda Bennett. Number 21 at defender is Nicole Stevens. 22 at center mid is Tori Reinsom. And number 24 at center mid is Sierra Jarrell. Let's get the lineup for the Heat FC. They are head coached by Travis Sabin and team managers David Merrill. Jillian Tobin is the keeper. Number 2 is Jessica Piazza. Number 3 is Courtney Merrill. Number 4 is Peyton Feller. Number 5 is Sydney Smith. Number 6 is Savannah Smith. Number 7 is Summer Tobby. Number 8 is Carly Berry. Number 9 is Sienna Rideout. 10 is Gabriela Casas. 11 is Nolan Packer. 12 is Adrina Cron. 13 is Nicole West. 14 is Jordan Mercado. 15 is Carolyn Rajeda. And 18 is Courtney Drum. And that is the lineup for both squads. We'll be back with the starting of this match in just a moment. About ready to get underway. So shift colors for all you sailors out there, past and present. We are underway. The Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier with it. And the Arsenal Premier drawing it back. And if I said they were going from in a different direction, forgive me, they're going from right to left. Obviously, as you see, in the Heat FC going from left to right. The Gilbert Arsenal going to throw it in from the far side touchline. And they get it into Jarrell. Jarrell sending it into some space. She gets a return pass and wants to go out wide and does so. And now a service, and this one is going to go past the goal line. On this beautiful day here in the Summerlin section of Vegas, above the Strip, about 15 miles or so. And the throw in. And going up the field, Heat FC now trying to get that initial rush into the 18-yard box. One of quality, as the second time they've been in the defensive half of the Gilbert Arsenal. On the near side, that ball is going to be knocked out, and I believe it was knocked out by Kendall Trabi. And if that indeed is the case, you're going to have a corner kick for the Heat FC, the first of the match. And that is going to be the case. The Heat FC getting their first set piece in the backyard of the Gilbert Arsenal 98. And it's a pretty good service, but they can't get a subsequent strike on it. So Gilbert Arsenal will try to work out of their own defensive half. As that ball into Central now, chasing it down. Torrey Ransom. And that ball now is swept into the 18-yard box. And after a couple of bounces, the keeper for the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier trying to get it out of her own defensive half with her teammates, but they're having a problem there. Nicole Stevens into space. Nicole trying to run onto that soccer ball, but cannot. And it looked like Savannah Smith lastly touched it out for the Heat FC. In this 0-0 match here on the pitch, and a beautiful day, Las Vegas, Nevada area. Hope you're enjoying the match so far. Langevin Productions with George on a camera. That is George Langevin. And coming down to Central, there was a touch there by Jordan Mercado, but her and her teammates couldn't go any further. And now here's a touch quickly by Tobby. You got Trobby and Tobby. Tobby on the Heat FC. And Kendall Trobby on the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. Amanda Bennett serves it into space nicely for Meskill. Intercepted, but now coming into the space, Amanda Bennett. And Bennett couldn't possess the soccer ball any longer. And it goes up the field and out of play now. 0-0 your score. The Gilbert Arsenal Soccer Club out of Gilbert, Arizona, suburb of Phoenix. And midfield now with it, Merrill, and she dropped it back there to Tobby, and going out wide as the Heat FC trying to go up the field with Merrill. And now coming into the space there was Rideout. And they still maintain possession on the left flank as they move into the attacking third, and that ball is knocked out of play as getting over there was Peyton Mutsers. Nice play into space by Peyton. And now on it, Courtney Merrill dropping it back to her teammate, and that was a ball sent into the 18-yard box, but no problem for Brandy Alderson, the keeper. And head coach Brett Meskill, his team trying to get some more possession in the defensive half of Heat FC, but that's not happening as Travis Saban's club still maintaining possession now into the 18-yard box. And winning it there into space is Cambry Meskill. And Cambry sending it to the center circle, but had too much pace on it that time. On it is Lovell. Ashlyn Lovell sends a nice ball out wide. And running onto it with some space there was Amanda Bennett, but the defender got back. At midfield, Jarrell, and dropping it back. Her teammate getting to the soccer ball. Player going down, but center ref says play on. Heat FC getting the soccer ball back now quickly. Good possessions here. Going diagonal this time to Nolan Packer, and Packer is dispossessed of the soccer ball. But Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier couldn't keep it in. So Nolan Packer throws it in towards the 18. Packer on a nice strike up in the air, but that one's going to go behind frame. So they don't get anything out of that particular sequence. They would have liked to have more out of that, but not to be. Substitutions coming in now. And if we miss any substitutions that come into the pitch, we will mention them as they touch that soccer ball. The goal kick. Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier now. And on a left flank, trying to keep it going there. Amanda Bennett getting a teammate. Moving forward to try to make something happen. Now in their own defensive half, they've got to collect with Sierra Jarrell. And we're going to correct that pronunciation of the last name, Jariel. So Sierra Jariel, and that ball is knocked out of play by Nolan Packer. The throw in the attacking third. 0-0 the score. Service. That one up on top of the 18-yard box, but winning it is the Heat FC, the Henderson, Nevada residents. And that ball is routed back by the defenders of Gilbert Arsenal 98. Back to their keeper. Off of a bounce at the center circle. Trying to get Tori Reinsom to get to that soccer ball. She couldn't do it. On a near side, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Heat FC. It's 0-0 match. There's a quick touch there by Packer. And Nolan and her teammates now have the soccer ball. Savannah Smith can't go any further. Dispossessed into space. Ashlyn Lovell. Jariel out wide now. The pass toward the interior again now with Lovell. Ashlyn now tries to place a nice ball on the wide, but it was intercepted. And now on it, Courtney Merrill for the Heat FC. Back to Ashlyn Lovell. Lovell getting it forward. Got a teammate to put it into the 18-yard box, but it had way too much pace on it that time for player on the wide to get to it. Jillian Tobin, the keeper for the Heat FC, but her pass intercepted. Nolan Packer getting it over to Merrill. Courtney wants to go out wide, gets it up to Piazza, Jessica Piazza. And it is touched out. It's going to be touched out by Sienna Rideout for Heat FC. So a throw in for the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. And substitutions coming in for the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. And you see there, McKenna Soha is into the contest, number 13. And that ball is going to go out of play, but it's going to be a throw-in for the white and black. In the far side touchline in this 0-0 match. Greg G.K. Porter enjoying the action here along with George Langevin, giving you the sights and sounds. But a whistle might have been an illegal throw-in, or maybe she wasn't at the right spot. And she's at the right spot now. Got to do it again. Getting it in off of a bounce to Jariel. And Sierra, a touch, but gave it away in his face. And now they send it to midfield, Heat FC. And another quick strike to get with the long ball. And it's had just too much pace on it that time as Brandy Alderson ranging off to her left to get to that soccer ball. Just in front of the striker that time as they quickly had a play going. And now back the other way, Reinson. In the central now, Nolan Packer dispossessed that time by Amanda Bennett. And now going after it is Nolan Packer and strikes it all the way upfield. Only a couple of players in the deep back. but not able to manage the soccer ball there was Cambry Meskel. So giving it away into the 18-yard box now. And they got to chase it down. Here's a big play. And it goes wide on a strike there by Courtney Merrill, but nobody on the other end of that pass. As a miscue, and every time you have a miscue in your 18-yard box, you present danger for your keeper. But they're no worse for the wear this particular time. Is Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier, as they have a fresh player coming in. And that player is number 9, Tatum Harris. So Tatum Harris into the match. Gilbert Arsenal 98 in their own defensive half. They get a long ball strike. The header back to midfield. The touch quickly by Jessica Piazza up forward, trying to get her teammate to run onto it. Could not. And so the white and black have it again. Sierra Jariel, but her pass is a giveaway. Heat FC collecting at midfield. To get the counterattack going out to the Y. On the near side. With it is Savannah Smith. Smith dropping it back. Teammate gets a nice strike into the 18-yard box, but couldn't get anybody to meet to the soccer ball that time and direct it toward the keeper. However, they will be able to throw it in as it's off of the Gilbert Arsenal. Heat FC now along their right flank. At midfield, just beyond midfield in their own defensive half, having troubles. And now they're going to give up a free kick in their own defensive half. First one for the Gilbert Arsenal in the defensive half. Correction on that one. That was the second one in the defensive half of Heat FC. Trying to go further down a central. And they retreat back in their own defensive half, and a quick strike there by Peyton Mutseres. 0-0 is still your score here at the Kellogg Zaire Soccer Complex. The stair-step approach, I call it, because basically they're at different levels. Starting from the main boulevard all the way up 11 fields. And four areas are natural grass, and the rest are synthetic surface. Sierra Jariel, her pass was not able to be possessed that time. And so Heat FC now trying to move toward the attacking third, but they can go no further as Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier able to push that ball or strike that ball out of play along the right flank, and just to protect. Going to be a throw-in now, though, for Heat FC, of course. And Heat FC trying to be the first one to get away from the blank sheet, as both teams still with a blank sheet at this point. Nice dispossessed that time by Courtney Merrill. Heat FC in their own defensive half. Over the top, trying to get Savannah Smith to possess it. Couldn't do it. However, running onto it, they still have it. Nolan Packer on the near side and going after it there. Heat FC along the right flank. And that is Savannah Smith. Nolan Packer chasing it down in the corner, and Packer knocks it out of play. As nicely done by Devin Nall to force the strike out of play past the goal line. Substitution coming in now, Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier in his girls under 14 match. And cannot see the number in front. So we will mention her as she touches that soccer ball. Ball going out of play now. Amanda Bennett throws it in. And a strike quickly by Tatum Harris. Tatum Harris getting that ball right onto the keeper, and Jillian Tobin making the save. They got to retreat back, though, as one is a Bennett ball to the goal! Go, 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 goal! Carly Berry putting it in the back of the net over the outstretched hand of Brandy Alderson. And it was a good strike by number 8, Carly Berry, and it's 1-0. So the Heat FC strike first in this match on a quick counterattack, and Carly Berry the finish. And so now the Gilbert Arsenal out of Gilbert, Arizona, have their work cut out for them the rest of this match. Throwing it in, Ashlyn Lovell. Lovell looking for Bennett. Bennett can't get it, but it's into Central now. A quick touch there by Hawley, Lauren Hawley. And that ball is in the attacking third, but retrieving it is Nolan Packard. Nice job by Nolan, pushing it or striking it forward is Savannah Smith. Smith having a hard time as she was being pressured there, but her teammate strikes a long ball over the top looking for Savannah Smith. And, or rather, that was Carly Berry, and that ball is knocked out of play by the Gilbert Arsenal, and they say actually was knocked out by the Heat FC. So Gilbert Arsenal throwing it in. Ashlyn Lovell giving the soccer ball away now. And here is Berry again. Berry still working it into the 6-yard box. And will it go across the line? It does! Goal! Go, 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 goal! Brandy Alderson stopped the soccer ball, but didn't stop it enough before it rolled across the goal line. It is 2-0, and Carly Berry's got 2 goals here in the first half, giving the Heat FC from Henderson, Nevada, the 2-0 lead. So Carly Berry working the left defender area of the outside defense of the Gilbert Arsenal, and she works them for 2 goals, all in a matter of a few minutes in this match. And going up big time in the world of soccer, 2-0 is the Heat FC. Substitutions coming in now for the, or substitution coming in. That's number 5, Sydney Smith now for Heat FC. So the local natives now leading in this match by a big 2 goals. But can the Gilbert Arsenal Premier, 98 Premier, can they get the job done by getting 2 goals on the board and equalizing this match? It's going to take some work, and a shot there by Ashlyn Lovell is what you want to do. It was wide of frame, but Ashlyn, a nice run down the central into the 18, just didn't get quite the strike she wanted on the soccer ball. So 2-0 on this beautiful day here at Kellogg Zaire Soccer Complex in the Summerlin section of Las Vegas, Nevada. The quick strike by Lauren Hawley, but her pass is intercepted. Heat FC going over the top, looking for Smith. Smith on the soccer ball, trying to go wide, and then serves it in the interior. There is again Berry, and Berry couldn't go any further. Carly Berry with the only 2 goals of the match, and collecting it there was Bennett off the header Quickly striking it back forward was Audrina Crone. And a whistle. And a player is down there for Heat FC, and that is Jordan Mercado. And a foul working against Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. And this is the second set piece in the defensive half for Heat FC. And it goes wide of frame there. Trying to get Barry to run onto it, but it had way too much pace on it. So it'll be a goal kick with the Arizona visitors, down 2-0, and substitutions coming in for both teams. You see there, Aaron Lum is into the match, number 17 for the Gilbert Arsenal, and the Heat FC player, we will mention her as she touches that soccer ball. And it's 2-0 match at a girls under 14. Flight Telemundo and a Gilbert Arsenal on a run down the central with a striker. But the Heat FC able to stiffen up in their 18-yard box and route that soccer ball past the near side touchline. Amanda Bennett will throw it in for Gilbert Arsenal, though. Into the central, trying to get another strike, and just wide of the 18. Here's Bennett. Bennett cutting the ball back. The header, trying to get another subsequent strike, but they can't in the central. And going back upfield is Heat FC. In a center circle now as they work in a midfield area, but a foul as Courtney Merrill victimized with the foul against one of the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier players, and Courtney Merrill is going to stay in the match. A strike and a goal! Go, 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 goal! Carly Berry gets what they call in hockey the hat trick, the third goal of the match. And Berry just beating Brandy Alderson to her right with a nice, brilliant strike into the back of the net. And substitutions now coming in for the Heat FC. So 3-0 as Barry, as I mentioned, just accounting for all three of the goals. We're still in the first half. And a strike goes out of play. The good part about being still in the first half and you're down 3-0 is you've still got a lot of time to work with. The bad part about it is you've got to get 3 tallies on the scoreboard. The throw in, Amanda Bennett getting it up forward to Cambry Meskel. And if you're Gilbert Arsenal Premier 98, you've got to work with Amanda Bennett to make some things happen, as Bennett has been pretty good from the outside mid area. Here's Bennett again, striking that ball forward, looking for somebody to race onto it, and it is struck out of play. Bennett has been punishing the right defense of Heat FC in this match, but not able to get a good service or a good strike in the back of the net. But now on it is Meskel. Nice diagonal pass, however, her teammate couldn't run onto it, or rather couldn't possess it that time. In a space, the attacking third, here's Bennett. Left-footed strike is a decent one, and they just missed it. The back post that time, and they just couldn't put it in the back of the net. It would have been 3-1 as a brilliant strike that time by Amanda Bennett, looking for somebody on that back post, and Sienna Rideout just couldn't handle the soccer ball that time. If she does, it's 3-1. And I just mentioned about Bennett, and that is what they're going to have to utilize to get back into this match if you're the white and black of Gilbert, Arizona. In the deep back, and that ball goes out of play. Ridden out by the defender of the Gilbert Arsenal Premier. So Heat FC leading comfortably 3-0. And in a lot of ways in a world of soccer, that's a insurmountable lead to try to come back from. But in youth soccer, not so much so. However, the older and older the age bracket is, the tougher and tougher it gets to come back with a bunch of goals on the board against you. This is the third set piece for Heat FC, and it's over the keeper, but an offsides call. That strike by Courtney Drom. So the goal kick thought it was an offsides call. It was not. The goal kick in this 3-0 match, working towards midfield for Gilbert Arsenal Premier. Trying to get a subsequent strike. They can't. And there is the double whistle. That is the end of the first half with a score. It is 3 for the Heat FC of Henderson, Nevada area, and 0 for the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. Stick with us. We'll be back with an exciting second half in just a moment.
Viva Las Vegas!
All right, shift color, second half underway. And, of course, it's 3-0. Carly Berry scoring all 3 goals for the Heat FC out of Henderson, Nevada, nearby. And they are going from right to left. Gilbert, Arizona, 98 team. Going from left to right, and there's Bennett. Bennett can be the dangerous one to help out, to assist, or maybe get a good strike if Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier to come back. And there's a quick strike by Sienna right out, and right out was way wide of frame, no problem for the keeper. A keeper change for Heat FC. Rebecca Rodriguez is a keeper in the second half. And you'll be seeing her touch that soccer ball. As Brandy Alderson's team trying to keep it out of their defensive half and keep it in Heat FC's defensive half to try and get back and get an equalizer in this match. They've got a lot of work to do here in the second half. 30-minute halves, of course, and going to have to make sure that they make some good plays, get some good strikes in order to have a chance. Heat FC with the soccer ball. Travis Saban's club. Got a player there in the space, and that is Jordan Mercado. Mercado getting it over to the near side to Merrill. And Merrill dropping it back to Adrina Crone. Crone to Casas on the right flank, and Gabriella will throw it in. Casas trying to get to the soccer ball, but her teammate does instead. Mercado, the defender in the right side, outside defense, able to drive that ball out of play for Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier, protecting the defensive third. That ball in the final third for Sienna Rideout. For service in the box, intercepted nicely that time by Peyton Museres. Down the central for an early ball, looking for Summer Tobby, or correction, Cambry Meskel, and Cambry going to be one of the other players trying to make things happen up forward. The Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. And his girls under 14 match here at the Kellogg-Zaire Soccer Complex. On it now is Adrina Crone. Crone working out wide, but her teammate is dispossessed. However, they're able to get it back there. Casas, but her strike went out of play, but lastly touched out of play by Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. Right out. A nice turn, but her pass intercepted nicely there by Sierra Jariel. Sierra now chasing it down. Got a teammate in the deep central of that 18-yard box to be able to strike it forward up to Cambry Meskel. And then her teammate now strikes it to the near side, and that is Bennett. Amanda Bennett goes down, and they say play on. Her and Jessica Piazza on that last collision. But now it is going to be a free kick. Free kick for Gilbert Arsenal 98. Only their third in the defensive half. And this one towards the 18-yard box, but headed up forward for Heat FC, and it can't quite get a strike on it as Aaron Lum did for Gilbert Arsenal, and trying to go down to central. They just couldn't quite do it that time, as Mercado was there. And here, Jordan Mercado. She circled around and went wide, but now Mercado is on it there in the space. Slowing the soccer ball down. A nice ball back to Courtney Merrill, but Merrill couldn't hold on to it. And now Tori Rensom with it. Rensom into space. And she's got her teammate there for a strike up high. And she just missed the far post. Nice ball on frame that time. And they just couldn't quite put it in the back of the net. But that's the kind of strikes they're going to have to get at times to try to get back into this match and have a chance to potentially tie it or win it. Substitutions coming in. The keeper, Rebecca Rodriguez. Rodriguez getting that ball out of her defensive third. Rensom couldn't possess it and back upfield. On the wide now, and it goes out of play. Throw in now for Heat FC, and that's Gabriela Casas. Gabriela in the attacking third, the header in 18. But that strike is going to be out of play, the far side touchline. quickly by the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. Casas will throw it in again. Gabriella looking for somebody to possess it. Off of a chest trap. Couldn't bring it down. Into space, though, they have a player there, and that is Tobby. And Summer Tobby couldn't go any further. And a nice ball, early ball. But not being able to go any further was the Gilbert Arsenal 98. As Raheda and company back the other way. Smith on a wide. Here's a strike by Rideout. Brought down in the 18-yard box. Still in the final third, the Heat FC buzzing around, and there is a challenge by Sienna Rideout, and that ball goes past the goal line. And it just will be a goal kick, not a foul on a play. Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier here at the Kellogg-Zaire Soccer Complex on a beautiful day. The Summerlin section of Las Vegas, Nevada. The ball across midfield now for Adrina Crone. Crone finds Mercado. Mercado going to the interior for a teammate there who touches it. And then now off the foot of Grajeda. Grajeda and Heat FC. Quick touch by Piazza, and then to the central again for Courtney Merrill. Merrill couldn't possess it, and back the other way for Ransom. Ransom now strikes it. It goes over to Bennett. Bennett, and going it with an overlap there was Ransom, but it was dispossessed in the central. However, the white and black still have it. Here's Ransom again. Ransom, who has played well in this match. Down to central, and Mesco got the ball dispossessed, and back the other way as they have to retreat back quickly. On a wide there was Carly Berry. She who scored 3 goals in this match. The only 3 goals of the match, and a whistle. And that's going to work against the blue. As now it's going to be the 4th set piece in the defensive half of Gilbert Arsenal. And Nicole Stevens for the free kick. It's a good one. It's up high to save, and a goal! Go, 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 goal! Tori Ransom was right there in the 6-yard box after the save by Rebecca Rodriguez, and she was able to get it into the back of the net. She was at the right place at the right time and able to give them a scenario where they're down by 2 instead of 3, 3-1. But when Rodriguez came at her, she fell on her, and Ransom took a little punishment there for that goal. But nevertheless, it's 3-1, and they're back within 2. Beautiful strike by Nicole Stevens. Challenging Rodriguez up high. She made the initial save, but there, of course, was Tori Ransom to clean it up for the goal. So on the board, no clean sheet for either team in this match. 3-1. Heat FC now into the attacking third with Peyton Feller. Feller goes out wide. Feller has Carly Berry, and Berry not able to handle the soccer ball or to get a good strike on it. But Berry scored the 3 goals for Heat FC, giving them the 3-0 lead at halftime. And the only person who scored a goal here in the second half is Tori Ransom off of a beautiful set-piece try by Nicole Stevens. 5 set pieces in this match for Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier in the defensive half of Heat FC. They lead in that category 5-2. But they're down in on the scoreboard, which is most important. The 50-50 ball goes out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. Down by 2. Still a lot of work to do here in the second half to bring this match into a tie scenario. Gaining real estate to be able to throw it in along the far side touchline. And gaining more real estate as Traube and her teammates have this soccer ball now. Lauren Hawley now circling around and getting that ball over to Peyton Moutsers. Moutsers goes out wide for Bennett. Amanda Bennett lost the soccer ball though, but she has a teammate there able to win it into space. That was Lovell. And now a touch by Jariel. And a strike. Up forward. In the space there was Traube and Kendall. The foul would be a free kick. Only the third one for the Heat FC in the defensive half of Gilbert Arsenal. In the match. Into the 18-yard box, and it's wide of frame, no problem for the keeper, Brandy Alderson. Plenty of time and space. Way too much pace on it for any surging down the field Heat FC player. Peyton Feller, but she lost the soccer ball and back the other way as they have to retreat back. Here's Amanda Bennett, and on the near side, that ball is struck out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for the Gilbert Arsenal, down by 2. Got to make use of every time they get in the defensive half of Heat FC. Into Central. Trying to get a subsequent strike that time was Ashlyn Lovell, but she couldn't. Off the header, but it winds up on a cleat of Bennett. Bennett gets it over to Meskel. Meskel goes wide. It's too far wide that time of Lovell. But they still have it in the defensive half. Running by it there was Merrill, but then she was able to collect it. Cross midfield in his 3-1 match. Heat FC leading. Greg G.K. Porter for Langevin Productions with George on the camera, enjoying this beautiful day here in the Summerlin section, the Kellogg-Zaire Soccer Complex for you. This one going wide now. The strike by Jessica Piazza. Piazza going over to Casas. Gabriella shielding the defender away from the soccer ball, dropping it back. Got a player in the midfield, and now to the central as they work it back into their own defensive half. There for Carolyn Grajeda. Her service over the top. Can't get anybody to possess it. They give it away to Amanda Bennett and her teammates in the defensive half. Lauren Hawley going out wide. There's a strike there by Kendall Traube in the central. And winning at that time was Mercado, and then it goes wide now, out of play. Will be a throw-in. Throw-in now for Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. But substitutions coming in for both squads in this 3-1 match. And if we do not see them, we will mention them as they touch that soccer ball. Amanda Bennett is coming out, the outside mid player. And maybe head coach Brett Meskel might want to bring her in later. And that ball goes out of play. Throw in on the far side touchline for Heat FC, leading 3-1. Trying to maintain the 3-1 lead. and ride it for a victory here at the Las Vegas Mayor's Cup International Tournament. Carolyn Goodman, the mayor of Las Vegas, Nevada. And in previous years, it was her husband, the mayor. Very unusual that you will see a mayor scenario go from the husband to the wife, but that's the way it goes here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And surely under Carolyn Goodman, she will take care of this tournament as well as the city, as lots of teams coming from all over the country as well as other countries, and they really, really enjoy this tournament here at this time of year, Halloween weekend 2011. Mercado with the touch, dropping it back off the central there towards that 18, but intercepted. Nicely done as he stiffened up on top of the box. Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. However, they have to deal with it again in their defensive half. There's Barry, who scored the 3 goals for Heat FC. Quick strike by Rideout. And the foul against Sienna, Rideout. And a free kick, but in their own defensive half, Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. It won't go on our tally. Only in the defensive half of Heat FC. Getting to that soccer ball was Sydney Smith. And then out to the wide now, but they can't go any further. Ran out of real estate along the far side touchline. So it'll be a throw in. And coming in, as coming out, was Sierra Jariel. And back in quickly, Amanda Bennett, maybe just to get a little quick refreshment, and she's back into the match. Bennett. And that ball is struck by the defenders in the D-back for Heat FC. Trying to go down to central in the midfield area. Heat FC. In his 3-1 match, but winning it is Cambry Mescal. Mescal dropping it back. Working in the middle third. Trying to get to that attacking third. Hawley gets it over to Mescal. Cambry dropping it back. Got a teammate there, and that was Lovell. And a whistle. Offsides violation against the Heat FC. But off the intercept, they have it again, and that's what they got to do. They got to possess the soccer ball in order to have a chance. Now they're retreating back in their deep third, and that ball is shepherded back to the keeper, Brandy Alderson, who drives it back to midfield. And now they're again in the defensive half of Heat FC. The visitors from Henderson, Nevada, working out of their defensive half with the strike there by Nolan Packer along the right side. And it goes out of play. It's driven off of the Heat FC player by Devin Nall. Retreating to go get it there. You see Kendall Trauby. But that ball was already out of play, and Trauby throwing it in for Gilbert Arsenal 98. Not a lot of time left in this match. In the central there, Amanda Bennett, and then has a teammate to subsequently get to the soccer ball and drive it upfield, out of play, the far side touchline. Throw in, Sydney Smith for Heat FC. Over the top, looking for a player along the right flank. They couldn't get one. And now in their own defensive half as Summer Tawby knocking it out for Heat FC. Erin Lum will throw it in or give it. She does to Kendall Trauby. You got Tawby and Trauby. Trauby, of course, as I mentioned earlier in the first half, on the white and black of Gilbert Arsenal. And a Heat FC having Tawby. Shot and just over frame that time. Carly Berry a bid to get a 4th goal, and those are nearly unprecedented in soccer action to get 4 goals. A good look there of Brandy Alderson retrieving that soccer ball. But Berry inflicting a lot of damage on that scoreboard against Gilbert Arsenal, 98 Premier team. And they don't want any more. Still working, down by 2 goals. And time running against them. Going to try to serve it out of their own defensive third, upfield. Gilbert Arsenal, 98 Premier. The ball is driven out of play. It'll be a throw-in, though, for Amanda Bennett. Heat FC knocking it out. Towards midfield. Coming up there was Kendall Trauby, and Trauby knocking it out of play. So Heat FC will throw it in. Heat FC from the far side touchline gets a header going forward to the attacking third. Goes up forward in front of Peyton Feller. She couldn't get it, and now back upfield for the Gilbert Arsenal Premier. As they collect in the midfield area, now want to go wide. And that ball is driven out of play. Nobody to be able to get on the other end of that one on the near side touchline. Hope you've been enjoying this stadium view. Stadium view camera. Haven't been using it for very long, only about a year or so. For Landman Productions. Well, we enjoy using it, providing the way soccer is usually viewed from an angle up top. And going after it there is a strike into the 18-yard box, but it was a ball that goes past the goal line. Nolan Packard trying to keep it in for Heat FC. Couldn't do it. Goal kick. 3-1 Heat FC. Entertaining a 2-goal lead and trying to have it stand up for the victory. As they retreat back in their own defensive half for Summer Tawby. Nice play. Tawby sending that ball, though, across midfield and out of play. You see players getting ready to be on the pitch here next after this match. Boys match. This under girls 14 match. 3 goals scored by Carly Berry and 1 on a beautiful service. Tori Ransom scoring the goal. The service by Nicole Stevens. Mercado for Heat FC. Coming over to Ransom. Ransom collecting it. Her teammate fell down, though. Toward the central. Heat FC winning it. And they've got players moving upfield. Out to the wide. Onto the foot of Nolan Packard. Packer, nice move around the defender. Packer service in the box, but it's knocked out by the defender there. Protecting into space. Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. Substitutions coming in for the Heat FC. And we'll find out who those substitutions are momentarily here. Looks like it's going to be Carolyn Grajeda. Number 15 is into the match. And if there was another one, we will mention her as a touch of soccer ball. The 4th set piece. It is in the 6-yard box, in the central of the box, but they couldn't get anybody to possess it. Upfield now for Heat FC. Try to get to it again. They do. And the attacking third back again. And now that ball is sent over the top of the net. So Heat FC continuing to attack and do whatever they can to secure this match, as they're enjoying the 2-goal lead by virtue of the 3 goals that they scored in the first half. And one of the plays would have made this only a 1-goal deficit if the keeper would have been able to make the save. But she was shielded on the play and thought her teammate was going to, in the 6-yard box, talking about the keeper, Brandy Alderson, was going to be able to stop the soccer ball. And that didn't happen, and then when it went underneath her, she wasn't able to get to it in time to hold it across that line. Heat FC now. The more time they possess the soccer ball in this match, the more time, or the more of an opportunity for them to, again, secure the match as they send it forward. And a touch there by Carly Berry. Or rather, that was right out on the wide. Goal kick upcoming for the white and the black of Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. And coming out of the match was L.J. Jones. And coming in now, Lauren Hawley. L.J. has played a good match whenever she's been out there. And now the opportunity for Lauren Hawley. See what she can do to help her teammates get a tie out of this one. Not a lot of time to work with, though. And if you're Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier, as the save being made by Brandy Alderson, you've got to keep the ball in the defensive half of Heat FC. And you need to keep it in the field of play. Rinsom drawing it back, getting it over to Lovell. Back to Rinsom. Rinsom circling back around and strikes it for a nice ball. Played in the space to Mutsers. Payton drawing it out wide. Payton drawing it and putting it in the space, looking for somebody to run onto it. However, there is the double whistle, and that is the end of the match. The final score, the Heat FC winning 3-1 over the Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. The Heat FC out of Henderson area of Nevada, not too far away from here in Las Vegas, being able to beat their Arizona visitors. A nice match played by both teams, but it was the goals in the first half, as I mentioned, Carly Berry getting all 3 of them, and that 3-0 lead being able to stand up for the victory, although Nicole Stevens' service getting it over to Tori Rinsom, the lone goal for Gilbert Arsenal 98 Premier. We hope you've enjoyed this Girls Under 14 Las Vegas Mayor's Cup International Tournament. And hopefully both teams will have a safe journey back home. And we've enjoyed the action here on the pitch. I'm Greg G.K. Porter with George Langevin on your video camera, saying take care of yourself. God bless, as always. Remember to save this one on the hard drive. Bye now. Quarterback here with the Gilbert Arsenal Soccer Club out of Arizona, and you're?
Kendall.
Kendall, what's your last name?
Travi.
Kendall, talk about this match. I know it didn't come out the way you guys wanted it to, but talk a little bit about it.
I think we just didn't come out intense. Our very first game we came very intense, and this time in the head we just were kind of, high and kind of cocky, and we came out not ready to play and didn't play our game.
Okay, so you guys still have a chance to get out of pool play and maybe win this tournament, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what do you got to do in the rest of the tournament?
Well, I think we just got to get lucky. I think that this team needs to get beat by the team we beat this morning for us to move on to the finals tomorrow.
Okay. When you're listening to music, what's in your iPod?
I like country music.
Okay. You got a favorite artist?
Yeah, Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
Yep.
Fabulous.
Yes, she is.
All right. Outside of listening to music, when you're hanging out with your girlfriends, what do you like to do?
We like to go to the movies and just go to the mall and have a blast.
Okay. All right. It sounds good.
Yep.
Okay. When you got to go to school and everything, what kind of, how's your academics going, and is there a favorite subject or anything?
I like to work very hard at school. I get A's. Like 1 or 2 B's.
Great.
My very favorite subject is probably math.
Okay.
Because I like the challenge and numbers.
Good deal. All right. Well, nice talking to you, and good luck in the rest of this tournament.
Thank you very much.
And you are?
Brandy
Okay. What's your last name, Brandy?
Alderson.
Okay, Brandy, talk a little bit about this game.
We didn't come out as hard as we did in the first game, and we didn't play like we wanted it.
Okay. And so what do you guys got to do the rest of the way?
We get good sleep and play hard and won it.
Sounds good. What's in your iPod, Brandy?
Country music too.
Okay. The same artist as your teammate there?
No, I like Billy Currington.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're not involved with soccer and you're just hanging out with your friends, what do you like to do?
I don't know, just hang out, swim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. When you go to school, you got a favorite subject over there? How's the academic stuff going, your studies?
Good. I study a lot. I have A's and B's. And my favorite subject is probably social studies.
Okay. Good luck in the future, okay?
Thank you.
Alrighty. And you are?
Lauren Jones.
Okay. Lauren, talk a little bit about the tournament so far.
I think it's been a challenge. I think we can come out and win it, but we just need to bring it.
Okay. And I know you guys will. Your coach will have you prepared the rest of the way. When you're listening to music, do you have a favorite group or artist?
I like Adele.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's great. All right. Outside of listening to music, what do you like to do with your friends?
Shop.
Okay.
Shop.
Have fun shopping at the mall and picking up things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. When you go to school, do you have a favorite subject or teacher over there?
My Avid.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Greg G.K. Porter back here with the last two of the Gilbert Arsenal Soccer Club there out of Arizona, and you're?
Ashlyn Lovell.
Okay, Ashlyn, talk a little bit about the tournament so far.
I think we've been playing really great. We just came out a little cocky today, and we just need to be ready to play for our next game.
Okay. Well, I believe you guys will. Sometimes, the team kind of gets a lucky break here and there, and if you've already won one game, it looks like you guys have a chance to at least win another one. So this tournament hasn't gotten away from you. Talk about things that are in your iPod.
I listen to a lot of hip-hop and rap music.
You got a favorite artist?
I don't. I just like a lot of
different
bands,
songs, right?
yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, when you're playing around or hanging around with your friends, talk about things there.
Just more soccer.
Okay, all right. Keep focused, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
How's the studies going at school?
They're going great. I have 2 honors classes in there. They're hard, but it's fun to work through them.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Well, good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Alrighty. And you are?
Tori Ransom.
Okay. Tori, talk about, things so far. What do you guys got to do to conclude with the championship?
Well, first we got to get lucky. Like, we won one and we lost one, and hopefully the team we played this morning wins that game tonight, and so we can advance, and then we need to come out hard tomorrow.
Okay. When you're listening to music, you have a favorite singing group or song or whatever?
I like to listen to LMFAO.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Things outside of listening to music, hanging around with your girlfriends, how's that going?
Pretty good. We're a crazy group of girls. It's mostly our soccer girls that get together, so it's fun.
Right. So you have a good time. Yeah. Okay, now, when you're, at school and stuff, do you have a favorite subject or teacher over there?
I like English. I like to write. So.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah.
All right. All right. One last thing you'd like to say to anybody on the team watching this video?
Let's go get them, ladies.
All right. Good deal.
Yeah.
Good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
All right. The Heat FC from Henderson, Nevada, being able to win this one. They had the 3-0 lead, and then Gilbert Arsenal getting a goal in the second half to make the final score 3-1. We hope you enjoyed all the action here at Kellogg-Zaire Soccer Complex. For George Langevin on a video camera, I'm Greg G.K. Porter saying take care of yourself. God bless, and as always, save this one on the hard drive. Bye now.